Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our next exciting episode of the Swordcast Adventures Plays Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Not to alarm anybody, but as you notice, we are actually short 2 people at the moment.
We fired them all.
Fired them
all. All 2 of them.
All 2 of them.
Aaron, who plays Brago, he's actually going to be gone all night. He is on a vacation. But Jess...
Suck it, Aaron.
Yeah, also suck it, Aaron. He's in Hawaii. Like Dick.
Sending pictures to us. That jerk.
But Jess will be down in a little bit. She's taking care of the wee babe.
The wee babe.
But yeah.
The nipple.
Unless anybody's got anything special they want to announce, I think we can get right into our recap.
Yeah. I'm good.
Got nothing.
Awesome.
Next Monday we have an episode coming out, right?
That we do, yes. Swordcast Adventures, our next episode 37, will release on Monday.
Which I am introing.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And I will be recording this weekend.
But yeah.
So last time, we left off and picked up at the spot where Zin and Sabian were going to go visit Istrid Horn in the dock wards to try and secure a loan for Troll Skull, to help them make renovations to Troll Skull Manor and kind of get on their feet in this new house of theirs. They found her warehouse in the dock ward where they were able to recognize a couple people with familiar tattoos standing out front, which tipped them off. They went inside and met Istrid Horn, a dwarvish woman with a bit of an attitude, but well deserved.
I like her. She knows how to get things done.
And after some talking and Istrid kind of poking and prodding about what this business endeavor they're about to embark on was going to be, offered to give them the loan, but then also threw in a little bit of extra help for them also being part of the same underground organization.
Also true.
Which got them a little bit of a discount on their interest rate, and also got them an extra 500 dragons
and a lot of fucking money.
And an extra 500 dragons to help them pay for various other things that she wanted to see done properly. In exchange for a couple of other things, as in wanting this to be a sort of back-end organizational hangout / meeting place, which they agreed to. And after doing so, made their way back towards the manor in the North Ward, where they found basically everybody was just kind of roaming through the house, picking out their spots. Sarmea had already picked out her room and started setting things up. Brago had found his way into the kitchen where he found it was just absolutely destroyed, but then started to smash up some tables and chairs and stuff like that and started a fire in the broken hearth in the kitchen.
I lit fires too.
I was going to say, Mavrum also did the same thing out in the tap room, breaking up some of the broken tables and bar stools.
Lit from there.
Yep. And then he decided to go and kind of meander through the upper floors of the house, just kind of check things out. And that's where they were when Sabian and Zin showed up. Upon them showing up, they called a small staff meeting, shall we say. And
business meeting.
Sabian basically explained to them where him and Zin were, and that they had secured a loan through a colleague of his, and that they had payments that they needed to make at the end of each 10-day. And so, after a brief discussion about plans moving forward with the tavern and what everybody was wanting to do, they decided to go buy some beds from Tally, one of their neighbors at the Bent Nail, who makes and builds wooden furniture and trinkets and things like that. They bought enough beds to get them through the evening, and discussed going to maybe do some more furniture shopping the next day. But then after getting all their beds set up and everybody picking out rooms,
they gave me one too, which is very nice.
It was very nice of them.
Well, he needed a bed for the spare room anyway, so...
Sure.
True.
It's nice having a guest room.
Yeah. And then after that, Mavrum and Sabian and Brago decided to check out the cellar after smelling a kind of sour fragrance coming up through the hatch there. Upon doing so, Mavrum and Brago both slipped on the stairs going down, as there had been a lot of moisture that has collected there over the years, and then found out that the entire cellar floor was essentially covered with a thin layer of mold after being deserted and destitute for so long. An investigation check lended towards them finding also a hole in the wall where it looked like there was evidence of a rat infestation at one point. But then also led them to seeing that the mold seemed to get thicker as it went into a different part of the cellar, which basically went from the ale section of the cellar into the wine cellar, where they ended up finding a large cask that had fallen over and broken, and all the wine spilled out onto the floor and basically had gone bad and had been sitting there for who knows how long, and just making the place an absolute mess. The stench was absolutely unbearable, so much that you guys pretty much left right away.
And it appeared to me that it was like this might be the source of the fungal infestation.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
You also can't forget
It
this
did appear
one's
like that.
help.
Oh yeah,
Really
I did almost
important
forget about that.
Ah,
Sarmea being upstairs saw that the three of them were downstairs
We'll walk outside,
no.
and told
No,
Brago,
you
or sent Brago a message and said, "Watch this," without giving
God
him warning,
fucking damn.
and had, what was it, a ghost appear?
A ghost.
A ghost appear in the
ghost
basement with
with
them. Which led Brago and Mavrum to kind of act on instinct and swing at this thing, but it being not real, attacked each other.
It was great.
I missed, and Brago did.
Brago
Brago
hit you.
knocked me almost out. He hit me real hard.
And
Yeah,
then
he did.
started
Bolted
giggling,
upstairs.
I mean, it's all a ploy for you to like get us together in the long run, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
getting him to hit me with a club.
One
it's-
race is a
Yeah.
little bit.
20-year-olds think that far.
Yeah. Totally.
It's
I
like,
figured.
right?
You're like the best wingman, though.
I'm a little sad that my fellow wingman E, isn't here, but
Wingmate,
He's here in
Right?
spirit.
He is.
he's here in spirit. He's sleeping, so
wing person,
there.
Wing dwarf.
bird person,
Bird person.
my fellow bird person.
And then after that, the group decided to go get some dinner and drinks, as they didn't have anything edible in the house. So they walked across the alley to a place that they had discovered that morning called Faroum's Brews. They met the owner and proprietor and ended up getting some dinner and had a few drinks. Sarmea ended up stepping outside to play a quick song or two to earn enough money to pay for her drinks for the evening.
It was a really good performance.
Yeah.
Was promptly refused.
Which I was fine with. I just kept
It was
them.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say. Still a good performance.
I tried.
It was so random, though.
It was.
There were like two people in the alley. I got them both.
Yeah.
I got him though.
The place was small
Sucker
and
born
pretty
every
empty.
minute.
And when they got their food, had a little bit of small talk with the owner.
He's a jerk.
And
Yeah.
after finding
Kind of a
out
jerky guy.
that the place was given to you, you got a little upset about it and wandered off.
Highfalutin bartenders in the Troll Skull Alley.
You guys finished up your meal and then headed back to the place. You guys spent some time kind of just cleaning up a little bit more in your guys' respective called upon areas, and then eventually everybody laid down and went to sleep. But in the middle of the night, Sabian happened to hear something, some sort of a clutter or a clatter downstairs, and
I backtrack. You're forgetting me matchmaking.
It's true.
oh, your attempt at it, yeah.
Hey, there was touching.
There was touching, winking.
Groundwork was laid.
Oh yeah.
For some serious shipping
Those
action.
girders of love
Yeah.
were set into the foundation.
Yeah, that's right. Sarmea ended up telling Brago to
That's
show
awful mooring.
Mavrum where her
The ship
makeup
is ready
was in
to
her
go.
room as a ploy to get the two of them alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause he had no idea where it was.
He's great. We lit
He
fires
did.
together.
He went and tried to find it, couldn't
Oh
find
my
it.
God, what's going on? This never happens.
Never.
Sorry.
But yeah, in the middle of the night, Sabian awoke to a bit of noise downstairs, and then after hearing it again, went upstairs and woke up Zin, and then they in turn went to wake up Mavrum. They attempted to wake up Brago, but he was fast asleep and not having it. But upon heading downstairs into the bar area, once they got to the bottom floor, there was a dish thrown at them, or seemingly flung across the room in some manner. After that happened, Mavrum cast the light spell on a bar stool and threw it across the room, across the bar, to try and see if there's anything back there, which it revealed nothing.
Show yourself!
After that happened, a glass bottle was then thrown at him.
Just the target. This
From
whole
somewhere.
situation.
And then, at last, a chair was slid across the bar room towards this group of players, and then as they started to hear a strange noise come from somewhere near the front entrance, they noticed that in the dust of the windows, shapes started to appear, which in turn ended up being letters, which spelled out the words "closing time." And that is where we left off, and that is where we pick up now.
Yeah.
We find the three of them in this bottom floor of Troll Skull Manor, entering the tap room. They have just come down the stairs and have seen these random objects come to life in front of them.
That's why I have to sleep in more than just my bloomers. It's just, it's not a great look.
Too much action.
Hey man.
Sabian turns to Mavrum and Zin and says, "Is that what I think it is?"
I actually have no idea what that is. I mean, I have similar spells, but I've never seen where it's just right in the window without someone behind me.
I mean, they did say this place was haunted.
You're not wrong.
You should probably blast it with magic or something.
You're giving me permission to destroy your window.
I mean,
Firebolt.
Alright. I wanted to help him, but he just sort of did it, so I don't really have any justification for helping.
Fair enough. Roll an attack. With disadvantage.
Oh yeah, I kind of figured. It's a 6, and yeah, that's a 12.
Yeah, that
Hit that window.
you throw out you throw out this fireball. Roll damage.
Okay.
That's coming out of the 2000.
It's the repair fees. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Firebolt, it should be a D10.
It's a D10 and a fire damage.
D10.
Yeah.
That's not 10. Go. 9.
Yeah. So yeah, you see this streak of flame shoot out from your hands, and as it kind of hits the glass and kind of spreads from that center point around it, you think that you got away without breaking it, and at the last second, it just explodes outwards.
Oh god. Sorry about that. But do you see? Can I perception check?
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet. I was like, what am I trying to figure out on this one?
Yeah, can I try to discern what's going on?
Yeah, you can roll a perception check too if you want. Or if you were looking for something else other than just scanning the room.
Well, I can't see anything, so I'm trying to
4 for me.
rack my. I guess I'm
You
trying
don't
to
see anything.
Nah.
You're kind of confused.
A little bit.
I'm trying to think of what could be happening, and just based on the context, we're told that this place is haunted, so I guess nature.
Sure.
Okay. 5. So
So not having a lot of experience with, what
The
should I
undead.
say, the
supposed undead.
paranormal activities, I should say.
Yeah.
You can't really put together what's going on. The only thing that you can think of is you just keep going back to that thought of they told you that there was some sort of spirit residing here, and that's all you can seem to think about.
Well, I don't know what to do.
Can I?
Does it keep writing anything after this closing time, or does it just stop?
We destroyed that window, right?
Yeah, you blew out that one.
Oh, okay.
So like you see the words like get spelled out, and there was like a moment's pause where you guys had this very quick discussion, and then Maven just threw the.
I'm gonna do a weird
out.
thing. I'm gonna take my mage hand and write, "Who is this?" on the window.
Okay, as your mage hand flies across or begins to float across the bar to the next open window.
Should've done that. Does question mark does probably knowing me.
Does a 16 hit your AC?
What is flying across the room?
So as the mage hand begins to float across the room, you see the light behind the bar shift, and that stool that you cast a cantrip on just comes flying back at you.
Okay. Can I, like, I was gonna try to like throw my dagger to like knock it out of the air, but
You can make an attempt.
yeah, I want to try that.
Yeah, go for it.
First, throw my dagger.
Trying to think if I can do anything.
22.
I'd say that hits.
Hits a wood.
Yeah.
Hits wood.
Let's see. How do we want to do this? I guess let's
Hello.
roll for damage, and whoever rolls higher will get through.
You got it. Well, all right, my D4. Ooh, it's 5. 5.
Yep, you win.
Sorry.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, dear.
So you just see this light come flying back at you guys, and you whip out your dagger just enough to knock it off course to where it kind of like hits into the wall and bounces across the floor and lands at the bottom of the stairs.
Also, everybody, rainfall. Sorry.
Put
Put
it
an
in
emoji. I'm gonna just flaunt that emoji.
Okay.
Well, what do we do here? Sabian just looks like he is totally out of his element.
And you have your mage hand finish spelling that out.
Yes.
And
Yes, I
what
do.
exactly did you say again?
Who is this?
By the way, welcome, Zin.
Hi. Are the pens around that I had in here anywhere?
So you guys want to fill her in on what has
Sure.
transpired
Yes,
so far?
please let me
You've
know
only
what has
missed a couple
happened.
minutes.
I know.
Well,
I know.
so we discussed.
Much better than I thought it was going to be.
Neither of us figured out what the hell was going on with the window. So Sabian's like, shoot it, and I, but kind of not fully intentional. I figure it wasn't a full intentional of me actually just going ha.
Yeah.
So, but I took it as firebolt. So I blew up a window, and then I tried to, because the thing was writing, and I was wondering if I could write to it back. I tried to mage hand over to the other window to write a thing. And as that happened, the light cantrip stool flew back at me, and then Sabian saved me with a knife, a dagger thrown into the stool, which then in turn clattered down, and then you set it down.
Cool.
Yeah.
So not very much has happened.
But then I would like to continue writing that thing in the window. So I do actually write it.
Yeah, so your mage hand finishes spelling that out. Who is this?
Is there any response?
At the brief moment that we're in, no.
Cool. I would like to get off the stairs
Sure.
and kind of behind Sabian, like in the area. Actually,
Should we get Sarmaya?
did I message?
Should we get her?
Should we? I can message her.
Is she the only one currently not down here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably then.
And Brago's upstairs.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Only one playing right
Would you
now.
would you want me to make the room a bit brighter, not just for my cantrip? To light the hearth up. We could maybe get a little bit better of a grasp.
Can Zin do
Do you want
a check
flying
of some
fiery
kind?
furniture? I don't think I want flying fiery furniture in my bar.
Okay. You want me to
to
flying fire
see from kind of
Um,
my
I'm gonna reach into the pouch on my belt.
For
and
a lot
grab,
of fire in the
copper
castle. in the
and
North
call
Ward
it
this
to
evening.
Sarmaya. Sarmaya, we have a problem down here. Ghosts? Possibly.
So, Sarmaya, you startle awake and you just hear this voice like rattling off in your head.
What? And am I like?
You're in your room.
Right. Am I awake enough that I actually heard the words, or does it just start with me now I'm awake?
I would say that you probably missed like the first word or two, but you caught the gist of it.
Sarme is gonna put on some clothes, throw on her armor, and head down. On my way. There you go.
So you're putting on your armor,
Yes.
and you just wear leather, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I would say you probably have about a full minute before you'd be able to make it downstairs if you're doing that.
I'm gonna do the same to Brago and be like, Brago, we're fighting something down here. Please come down.
You just hear kind of a, yeah.
In response, excellent.
Can Zin do some kind of check to see what she knows, or like if she knows what this is based on her like any of her blood hunter training?
Roll for
Sure.
spooky.
Can
What
I
are
do
you
a
gonna-
spooky check?
Spoopy.
Yeah, so that'd
Spooky
be, what are you
check.
trying to roll? Nature?
I guess nature, like, right?
Yeah, I'd say
That
that's
still counts
probably...
for like
Yes.
the
Yeah,
paranormal.
Yes, it's nature. Or Arcana, technically.
You could
if
roll
Yeah.
Arcana.
if
I
you
guess
wanna-
I'd rather do an Arcana check.
Sure.
Not one.
You have advantage if it's undead.
Oh, I do.
And presumably.
And this will, I was gonna say, this will answer a lot of questions.
That'll make that the 18.
You did have advantage,
Yeah.
so it is undead.
Yay!
Um,
It is actually
and
ghosts.
it was, sorry, what again? 15?
18.
18.
Yeah.
You have, I'd say you've definitely heard of things like this. I don't know if you've had, like, experience yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but you've definitely heard of, like, paranormal things, entities such as, like, poltergeists or specters, things like that.
Right.
The worst is poltergeists.
Yeah, those are the worst.
So you can get past like the
Chicken.
first.
The
three
movie's the
minutes,
best,
really
but...
get- that bathroom scene I can get past it.
One of my favorite scenes in cinema history.
It's so good.
Put that out there.
But that's about all you know. All you know is you've heard stories of
Okay, so I don't know anything about like
possible
how
afterlife
to.
beings that would kind of like stick around for some reason.
Okay, but I don't know anything about like how to deal with them or damage them or anything like that.
I'd say that you know that regular like weaponry,
Mm-hmm.
like mundane weapons, aren't really going to do a whole lot.
Okay.
But that's about all you know.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry for the loud noises.
At that point, I would messaged both Sermea and Braga. I'd like to get off the stairs and kind of back behind the hearth, giving myself a little bit more cover compared to flying things. At least in my mind.
So like right there.
Yeah, but like where I can see out from both sides. So yeah, that would be. I think that would be fine.
Okay. Pull this map back so I can get a little bit more on camera.
Let's see.
Excuse me, let me improve my...
Well, if you're not gonna let me just start throwing firebolts, what are we gonna do if we keep getting attacked and you can't see these
Do you
things?
have anything that isn't quite so fiery?
As you guys begin to discuss this,
You're right. We'll do full name.
you see the barrel that had rolled out from beneath the bar kind of start to like shimmy a little bit.
Am I down there?
I'm gonna make.
I'd say you're
Wait, what
close.
did
You're
we
coming
see
down
start
the stairs.
shimmying?
You're not into the
The
room yet,
barrel.
but you're coming down the stairs.
Oh, okay.
So you're probably like on the turn back, like just out of view.
Sabian's gonna pull the dagger out of the stool and then take the dodge action when he sees the thing shimmy.
Okay.
Whoever you are, whatever you want, I'm sure we can come to an agreement.
I'm going to.
I just yell out into the space.
At the. Can I cast friends at the barrel?
At the barrel, the barrel
At
itself.
least at the moving, like around the moving
I'd
object.
like to be friends with the barrel.
Yes.
Yeah, you can try. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pull that little bit of makeup that Samaya gave me, rub it just against my cheek, and call out, "Please stop! We're not trying to hurt your place. We're just trying to take care of it."
And how does the spell read?
You would have advantage on charisma-based checks
Yeah.
for the next minute.
If
I
so,
think.
yeah, but there's a
it knows
caveat.
that
For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile. Oh, never mind. It is hostile.
Yeah.
The spell would do nothing.
Fair enough.
We need a suggestion for that.
Can I just try a really high persuasion?
Yeah, go for it.
I say the same exact thing rolling. Would I do disadvantage because I don't know what I'm talking to?
I just talked about making a deal or something,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm trying to.
I'd say straight.
Has
forward.
it actively attacked anyone yet?
Yes.
Okay.
It threw the lid of
But I
stool
also-
at
Oh,
the
okay.
apron, and I deflected it.
And I also got a bottle turn. It doesn't like me.
Okay, got it. I wanted to make
It threw
sure that it
something at me
wasn't,
too. I feel like last time.
that it was definitely hostile.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
How's that? Ooh, that's 16.
16.
Yeah.
So as you being the second person to hear that, you see the barrels kind of like shaking and like shimmying a little bit, and you see it kind of like come to a rest.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere.
Tell Brago to bring paper, or some Sarmea to bring paper.
I guess message Brago, bring paper if you have
I don't know if anyone has paper. Wait, I have a forgery kit. I have paper.
any. Trying to think.
I'll be right back, and I like bolt upstairs.
Okay.
Yep, I do that.
So as you run
I guess I
upstairs,
passed Sarmea all the
you
way.
push past Sarmea as she's starting to come down.
Actually,
You trip me?
No. I turn and say the stories about this place are true, and I keep running up to my room.
I'm gonna kind of walk out from. Sorry.
Sarmea will just say, cool.
I'm gonna walk out from behind with like a handout, just like very open, like nothing happening. I don't know if this is gonna work. Can you show yourself? Whoever you are.
So you kind of step around the hearth here,
And just like hands up, just like trying to be
Calm
as.
the Raptors.
and after you say that, there's like a pause, and during that, like right after you say that, you kind of turn and you see Sarmea start to walk down the stairs, and Sarmea, what do you do?
Alright, why am I down here?
Seems like there are ghosts. Ghosts. Is that what we're calling it? Zin? What are we calling this?
Ghosts.
Ghosts. Yeah. Poltergeist, mate. Actually, I don't know if I know that one.
Where?
I have no idea. That barrel. And I point to the barrel in front of him.
Sarmea walks into the barrel and touches it and pulls out her red pearl and my all feather. Cast identify.
On the barrel?
Yeah.
Okay. So you... Nope, I know what it does. So you pull your feather out and you kind of like drag it across the surface of it, and as you say your incantation, you kind of like close your eyes and put your hand on it, and you kind of move it a little bit, and you feel the sloshing inside of it. It is a barrel full of ale.
So that means no spells are affected. It was not created by a spell.
And you recognize it as the barrel that Brago had bought from the Yawning Pool.
Hey, what if this?
What if I made it back, or being on my way back? with
If you
my-
just ran up to your room and grabbed your kit,
speed?
yeah, I'd say that, you're probably not quite back in the room, but you're getting close. You're
Okay.
coming back, you're probably just heading back down the stairs.
Anything else that can happen after my little like statement?
From what you guys can see, no.
I'm going to Mage Hand. Do you have a name in the window?
In the same one you asked the first question?
Sure. I mean, if it probably would have faded over.
So you do that, and you guys kind of watch in anticipation for a moment, and Sabian, I'd say about now you're coming back down, and you see everybody kind of standing there quietly, like just, do you do anything?
I walked to the bar and I put like quill and ink and paper down and on the bar, and I stepped back into the middle of the room and I just call out, "If you can write, we can talk." you have something you want that doesn't involve us leaving here, maybe we can work something out.
After you say that, there's kind of another pause, and you just all kind of wait, like, anxiously in silence. And after a couple moments go by, you notice that this stool just kind of shifts slightly on the ground. And then, underneath the second question that Mavram scribbled in the window to his mage hand, you see the letters L-I-F.
Is that a name we've heard before?
No. It is not.
Does it have good handwriting?
It's decent. It's legible.
Well, Liv, I actually don't know what I should say. How long have you been here? That's a thing.
There's no response.
I go to the paper and I write across the top. How long have you been here? And I put the quill back in the ink and I take a step back.
After a moment, I'd say probably about a minute goes by. And then you see the quill lift out of the ink and touch to the paper, and you see the word long get spelled out.
Was I present for any conversation about... I remember there was like talk of a bartender or something involved with this place, but was my character present for any of that? I can't remember where it happened, but
I believe so, because I'm pretty sure Volo had mentioned it while you guys were on the way to the place.
Oh, okay.
On the way to check it out for the first time.
I don't know if I remember that specifically.
Would Sarmaya know anything about the history being from Waterdeep?
Oh wait, no, it was actually the night before, because he had told Bravo and Sarmeo when he originally gave the
So then the
deed to
and I
these
don't
guys.
have, and I don't know that. Okay.
and yeah, I was not very.
Does anyone have any other questions?
I mean,
I
did you work here?
write it out.
Did you own this place?
I just do your work
As you're writing that out, Zin, you feel kind of like a shudder go through your right arm
Okay.
as you're standing there. Almost like, just like a cold breeze goes past you, and then it dissipates.
You want me to answer the question I asked, or
Well, sorry, what was it?
can somebody do a history check to see if she knows anything about this place being from Waterdeep?
Sure.
9.
Other than you knowing its name and that it hasn't been open for a long time, you don't know a whole lot about this building specifically, especially considering it's in the North Ward.
What was I gonna ask? Like, can I tell like what direction? Like, was there like did it feel like something passed me? Like either like moving in a specific direction, or did just my arm get cold? Like, is it?
The way you felt it kind of like roll through your body, it seemed to move towards the stairwell.
Okay, so I would like turn in that direction immediately and see if I see anything.
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
With disadvantage.
Not a problem. Perception disadvantage. Come on, there we
I
go.
think maybe we can walk over and write.
12. Sorry.
12?
Yeah, 12.
You don't see anything.
Got it.
What keeps you here on the paper?
After Savian wrote, because you asked, did you work here?
Yeah.
And then you asked,
What keeps you
what
here?
keeps you here? And you guys, there's kind of a pause, and you guys wait again anxiously, just in silence as you wait for something to happen, but nothing else seems to. Say about a minute and a half goes by and nothing was happening.
So at this point, like, Rocco's come down.
Brago actually hasn't come down.
I'd like to check on my man. He wasn't here to hear it, so it's not canon.
You might watch it.
Hey, if he does.
You said it on stream. It's canon.
Yeah. But no, I would like to kind of go back upstairs.
Okay.
And kind of like under the guise of, I'm gonna go upstairs. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything's coming of.
Did it leave?
I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna
it felt like it went. In that, I felt like it passed by me or something.
just keep an eye out.
It passed by you. It went upstairs.
I don't have any visual confirmation, but it kind of felt that way.
Yeah, as you hit the top of the stairs, yeah, roll in perception. So you don't see anything out of place. You walk up and you see that common area, and it looks pretty normal from what you've seen all day. Nothing seems to have changed.
How long does
But
light
as you, what's that?
How long does light last? An hour?
I think so.
Okay.
And then, so as you begin to move through the den and head towards, or do you just go into your room?
I'm gonna use message and follow Brago again.
Okay.
While I'm in the common room.
Okay. Sure.
Sabian's gonna pick up the stool and walk up the stairs.
Okay. Brago?
With the one that has the light on it?
Yeah.
Where? Brago? See if there's any response.
So even from where you are, you kind of hear a grunt, and you hear him like roll over in his bed.
Okay. A little less concerned.
I'd say roll another perception check now. And as you're doing that, Sabian enters upstairs, and you see a light break out through the room.
As Sabian walks up the stairs, he turns to Zin and Sarmaya and says, "Let's go find this ghost."
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's here somewhere.
16.
I ain't afraid
You hear
of it.
Brago snoring soundly from his room.
I ain't afraid of no barrel.
As Sabian's like right behind me with the stool as he comes around, I think Brago's just sleeping pretty heavily. I'm not as concerned. I've heard tales.
Okay.
I've heard tales of
You got it.
ghosts like possessing people. I was concerned.
Let's not rule that out.
So after
I'm seeing this crowd onto this necklace.
after y'all start running around going upstairs, somebody's just gonna say, "I need a drink first," and he's gonna look for a cup or something and try to tap that cake.
The spooky cake.
Yeah.
Ruby ale.
Yeah, so I guess roll a perception check to see if you can find a cup.
Nat 20 plus 1, 21.
So yeah, I'd say you find an old tanker laying on the floor somewhere. It's a little beat up, but
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to tap the cake.
I'd say look around. I'd say roll another perception check to see if you can find a tap.
It's gonna be a 5.
So you kind of do some digging. You go like digging through some things, and you're like throwing pieces of furniture around that are broken, and you go back into the kitchen, and you just get hit with that smell of like disgusting rot that you dealt with earlier, and you don't want to be in there. You don't find a tap anywhere.
Alright, I'm gonna go over to that barrel, and I didn't say it, but honestly, because I put on my armor, I feel like I would grab my dagger. If it's fine.
I'd say if you
Yeah,
were
absolutely.
armoring up. Did I put on my armor? I can't remember. I don't think I did.
Sabian
Yeah.
didn't either.
I'm gonna take my dagger and stab a hole in the barrel. You can do a strength check.
Just while it's laying on the ground like that.
When
Yeah.
romance like opens.
That's a 1.
With the
Not a natural
sapphire.
one, I rolled
Just
one
like
too.
sitting in the middle of this.
Yeah, you go to stab into it with your dagger, and you just kind of like it. You don't hit it at the right angle, and it just kind of glances off the side of it.
Just get it out.
Starmay's gonna put her dagger away, look at the tankard, throw it at the barrel, walk upstairs.
Yeah!
You guys hear this, like, you just hear this metal pinging as this tankard bounces around across the floor.
Oh, maybe
Bing, bing, bing,
maybe it
bing.
went back downstairs. Saving us too.
Maybe it did.
I would roll to find a cup and nothing else.
I mean, we can always continue going upstairs and see if there's anything up there.
I think I might head upstairs and put my armor on, in case.
I am considering going back to bed. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems kind of.
It seemed at least benign after it stopped throwing things at us. So I'm not as concerned anymore about it.
It did stop throwing things at us.
It talked.
Yeah. Maybe we just need to give it time. Maybe it's like a stray cat you find on the street. You know, it's scary.
Put out ghost milk.
Yeah, ghost milk. Yeah.
Ghost milk. See if it comes to the door. Yeah.
Am I up with that?
I'd say I was given a little bit of time
Okay,
for
okay.
you to do your thing. I'd say about now, yeah, you're probably you come up the stairs here.
Should we continue this or should we go back to bed? I kind of feel like maybe we talked it down.
Y'all woke me up. Are we? It's gonna take me forever to get back to sleep. I don't like being woken up.
Well, I don't like things flying ahead, but I appreciate you coming down to check just in case.
I might just do a walk of the place before before I go back to bed. But I mean, I can always get you guys when anything happens.
Alright?
Can you send messages?
Nah,
I'll come with you in case something happens and I can send you a message.
that's fair.
I'm gonna go down
Can't argue with that logic.
and
I can
Just-
scream really loud though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
on the paper, I'm gonna write "We are friends."
Surmise everything you scream.
Okay.
And after that's all said and done,
Yeah.
I knew that.
I know you did.
So Mavram heads back downstairs to scribble something on the parchment, and then yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
Sabians can go back to bed.
Okay.
He says, if anything happens, wake me up.
Oh yeah, I will.
He sets the light stool into the common room and just like on the floor. Yep, exactly. So it's a lit room for an hour.
It's lit.
It's lit. I'm going back to bed.
me too.
Alright. So Mavram heads back upstairs to his room.
This failure.
And yeah, so what are you guys doing?
I would say first I'd go up to my room and at least, I mean, I might not put on my armor, but I'm at least gonna grab.
Are you going with her?
I'm gonna at least grab my my flail.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't even have your flail?
I don't know if
I thought you
I can't remember if I grabbed it or not. So I think I'm just gonna say I go to grab it because I'd rather.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you grabbed it.
I might have, but you know, just continuity's sake, I go grab it.
Fair enough.
And if I went upstairs to grab it, I'd actually probably check out the attic storage space first.
Okay.
Samaya is following, but she's kind of like stomping like a temper throwing toddler. With her arms crossed, just looking annoyed.
Weird courtship going on.
And Savings just in the background of this going.
Yikes. Sadie's past it. Dreaming of the ocean.
And then, yeah, and I'm just gonna look around. I guess I'm just like, as I'm walking through, I'm like looking for, I guess just anything out of place. Like, anything, I don't know. Like, if I see anything that's like personal belongings from someone who used to live here, or like, and if I found something, I'd be looking for the name Liff. Like,
Yeah, well, are you like actually digging through things, or are you just kind of like scanning the room?
I guess more scanning, like maybe, you know, like if there's a bookshelf, maybe pulling a couple books. I'm not like digging and throwing stuff. I'm maybe just kind of like scanning bookshelves, maybe opening a couple drawers.
How
Sure,
much
yeah,
stuff
I'd say-
stuff.
How much stuff is in attic storage?
Yeah, I was like,
assumed it was a bare room.
I mean, it's roll your perception check.
okay, you got it.
Touche.
Sarmea would be like, if there's like boxes or anything to pick, she's just like,
I will say that I have advantage on survival checks to track undead. So would that count for this?
Yeah, I would give you advantage.
Okay.
Sick.
That'll be dirty 20.
So as far as what's in the room, there's not a whole lot. You see a bookshelf that's kind of back against one of the walls, but it's been knocked over, and all the shelves on it are broken.
Okay.
Other than that, there's probably, I'd say, like 2 or 3 like crates that are also broken.
Okay.
And other than that, it's a lot of like cobwebs and dust.
Cool. No,
Like,
like
not
books
really-
left over on the ground or anything. Okay. Well, if I don't see anything out of place here, I'd probably also want to check. I guess I'd go down a floor and check the library next.
yeah, Sarmea's just on.
Okay.
And like maybe do a scan around to see like if I'm in. There actually are books in here, right? In the library, to a point.
There's more like scraps of some books.
Okay.
Earlier, Sarmea had found a bookshelf in there that she tried to pull out, but dropped it and broke it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check to try and suss out anything else if you like.
Okay. I guess like if there are like any books at all lying around, I'd want to look for ones that look more like a diary or handwriting as opposed to like a printed book.
Okay.
7.
7?
Yep.
I
I rolled 2 6s.
You don't find any actual like whole books. You find a couple like stray pages that are kind of like crumpled and like kind of just like tossed aside. And you grab one of them and you like pick it up and kind of like smooth it out a little bit.
Okay.
And you kind of like you try to read what's on it, and it's talking about some man and woman, but with just the one page of context, it's kind of hard to make out what's there.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to. It seems like a published book. It doesn't seem
Not
like it's
like
handwritten or anything like that.
Got it. I mean, I'm not gonna bother checking any of the bedrooms right now, obviously. Is there, like, anywhere else I should? Let me, like, stand up and look at this map a little bit better. Oh, I guess maybe the den? I'd go down one floor and go to the den next.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Your puppy behind you.
Yeah. Roll a perception check.
What? You're scrolling, right?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't seem to really notice much more than you guys did on your first walkthrough.
Okay.
It's pretty empty. You notice that fireplace goes into the next room. There's like some small like ashen remains, like charred remains of wood. This one doesn't seem to really have any papers or anything in it. There's like a broken chair in one of the corners, but that's about it.
Okay. Then I guess I'd go back down to the first floor, like maybe just sort of walk around for maybe like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes, make sure nothing else weird happens, and if not, probably go back to bed.
Sarmea's...
Did you see anything weird while we were?
No.
Alright.
Sarmea's gonna look for that tankard again. That she threw.
Okay, roll your perception check.
13.
Yeah, you're able to find it. It's a little bit more dinged up now.
Hey, Zen,
Yeah,
can you open this cake?
I can try.
Okay. Not very strong, so...
Can I open the keg?
I mean, there is a cork in it.
Possibility exists.
Then
You
I
can
would.
certainly try.
God damn it.
I
I'm just
suppose
saying.
I would pull out the cord.
You didn't say you wanted to open it. You said you wanted to stab a hole in it.
Nah, that's fair.
Really?
Although when I said I want to tap the keg, you could have been like, oh well, I don't know.
I mean, you can open it. There's no tap that you
I
could
thought
have
you
put
were
in
going to
it.
stab the cork, to be honest.
Oh no.
I mean,
Like a cork.
she didn't even really look for one. It's on the
Yeah,
underside
sure,
of,
she
of
didn't.
where it's sitting.
Yeah.
I flip it over, and I pull out a cork.
So you roll it over to where the cork's on top, and you pull the cork out.
Just like a skull-shaped smoke comes out of it. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. No. There you go.
Thanks. Somebody is gonna pour the Tinkerful, chug it, pour another one, go back to bed.
All right.
Night.
Are you pouring this yourself?
Yeah.
Roll
Why
a.
did you answer? Why did you say yes?
Uh,
Your face right afterward, too. It's great.
I'm gonna need you to roll a strength check to tilt it up and like hold it still so you can pour a glass for yourself.
You did this to
I-
yourself.
Okay, to be
Nice.
fair, I think if I saw her starting to try to lift it by herself to pour a cup, I'd probably help her.
Okay.
Alright, but I got a 17.
Okay.
I was gonna say, she's
So-
got this.
Yeah.
So she's gonna act all I'm gonna act all arrogant about it.
So yeah, so you reach down and you're able to grab the one end and pull it up just enough and hold your tankard there to where it gets tilted just enough to kind of pour out the side of it, and you fill up the glass
And I chug it,
and you chug it.
and then I'm gonna pour another one.
All right.
Roll again.
No, I'd say you kind of you pull it up and you get your tankard full and you kind of just hold it there and slam it and then like lean it
Yeah.
forward just a
That's
little bit
alright.
more.
That's fair.
And then we'll stomp up the stairs and go to bed.
That's so
Zin, I would say give me a perception check as you spend your couple minutes walking through the bar.
There we go. 17.
17. Okay. So you don't really, other than the things that have been thrown across the bar and the now window that has been broken out,
Mm-hmm.
you don't notice anything that kind of sticks out to you, but you do sort of have, like, get a little bit of a feeling of something watching you.
Alright.
You don't know where, you don't know why.
Sabian left a pen. And ink and
Yep, yeah, Mavram even went down and had written another message on it.
I'm gonna go over to the paper and write, "What do you want?"
Not a very neighborly way of saying it.
So you now see on this list
Kindly have a neighbor.
the two questions you guys asked before you originally left, and then you now see "We are your friends" written out by Mavram after you guys had all left, and then underneath that you just write "What do you want?" and you stick the quill back in the ink. Do you sit around to wait for an answer?
I'd wait at least a couple minutes.
Just sees him just sitting there, like, just really hard pan looking at it, just like,
You kind of walk around and spend a couple more minutes, but you don't notice the quill come back out of the ink.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the paper, and I'm gonna write, "Have a good night," and then go back to bed.
ghost friend.
A ghost something. A ghost acquaintance, maybe.
Did you cork the cask back up?
Why do you give these answers? Why do you give these answers?
No. I'm grumpy, and I'm tired, and I was woken up for nothing.
I mean,
I accept that as what your character would do.
yeah. So yeah, you guys go to bed, and it takes a couple of you, a little bit to get back after you since you've been woken up. in the middle of the night, but you guys are all able to eventually fall back to sleep and finish your night's rest and wake up the next morning. Who wakes up first?
I think Sabian would.
Probably. I don't think it would be Zin.
I'd be soon after Sabian takes first use. I definitely get up pretty close to sunup. Is there a window in this spare room? There is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two windows.
Especially with
Do I
that.
have a window in my room?
No, one of them's a
That's
door
question.
because you got
You
the
do.
Oh, yeah, I
patio
know.
area.
I'm gonna wake
The
up
terrace.
just as is, and just like the the trousers and
The no shirt.
the no shirt, and go shine on go fucking sparkle on the
Sparkle in the rays of the sun.
fuck yeah, man.
Go shed your light upon the world,
Yeah.
upon the alley.
Yeah.
Sun salutations.
Sabian gets up, puts on his armor, puts the plushie in a pouch, picks up the bag of holding and weaponry, and heads downstairs.
Okay. You wake up and head downstairs. Zin, Sarmea.
Sarmea will wake up. She's not gonna put her armor on, just her everyday clothes, and she's gonna go and spend maybe like 10 minutes. Gonna go up the turret and spend like 10 minutes looking around the city. But she's gonna try to be careful opening it so someone doesn't fall on her.
Alright, roll a sleight of hand check.
12.
You're able to avoid it for the most part. You push the hatch open real quick so that it kind of all just flies backwards. But there's a little bit that sprinkles in, and you're able to just kind of back up just enough to where it kind of just falls down the ladder. But yeah, you climb up onto the top of the terrace or the turret, and you see just a nice wintry wonderland across the northward.
Yeah, she's just gonna spend like 10 minutes looking around.
Yeah,
What do you do when you get downstairs?
Sabian
Yep.
sits down. Has there been any reply to anything written on the page?
So you go look at the paper, and you see at the bottom where where Zin had written out "Have a good night,"
Yeah.
and you see that it's been crossed out and like scribbled through, and underneath it says the words "My bar."
Not ghost friend. Set.
Not yet.
I didn't see it.
Sabian sort of looks at it all and thinks about crumpling it up and throwing it into the hearth, but thinks better of it because I think he wants other people to see it. And so he just gets another piece of paper out. It's like the quill and stuff like still there.
Mhm.
He didn't like destroy it.
Yeah.
Or he didn't destroy it, I should say.
Just splattered against the wall.
I was
Stained and dry now. Oh,
I put the cork back in the keg as I walk downstairs. He probably like lets out an exasperated sigh, like he shakes his head. He's like animals. He goes and puts a cork in it, and then he gets another piece of paper out and he starts writing a list of places that he wants to visit and start putting forth the plan.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'd say so. You spend a little bit of time hanging out in the tap room.
Making a list.
Yeah.
And I think one of the first things he writes is the city of the dead.
Yeah. Zin, what do you do when you wake up?
What's the view? What's like the view out of my windows up here? Like is that out onto the street?
Let's see. From the side that you're on, you would be facing you'd be facing the northern wall. So yeah, you see kind of like a wide street below you, and then you see more like just large estates and houses and buildings.
Yeah, because like the turret's right there. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Got it. Yeah, I would probably just like glance out the window.
You're on the third floor, so you got a pretty decent view. You can see like white covered building tops, and like this street below has gotten a decent layer of fresh snow upon it. It's currently not snowing.
Cool. That was my next
but
question.
there is a nice layer of snow across the ground.
Excellent.
You can kind of see already where like the morning traffic going through the snow has started already to create tracks of like horse hooves and like wagon wheels and stuff like that are going through the street, and people are already out milling about. Obviously not nearly as much as it would be as if it was like, you know, spring or summer, but there's definitely still people walking through the streets.
Cool. I'll probably like stop, take a breath, take in the view. I'd probably get fully dressed. I'll put on my armor, grab all my stuff, and I guess head downstairs.
Okay. You just head straight down to the tap room.
Yep.
So I'd say you probably find Savian sitting at the bar, and you see him kind of scrawling out some stuff on a piece of paper.
By this time, I'd probably get a little too chilly on the camp. And then go in, get all dressed up, and come on downstairs.
As you're getting ready, roll me a perception check.
What was the name again? Lif? L-I-F?
L-I-F.
L-I-F.
If I'm not mistaken,
I
that's
think they
Four
played at
initials.
Bonnaroo this year.
2? Yeah, you don't notice anything odd. You just go about getting ready for your day.
okay.
Uh,
Get all dressed up in my
so I'll
robes and
go sit down next to Savian at the bar and be like, you still trying to talk to it? See him scrolling on a piece of paper. I don't think it works during the day.
I'm just making a list of things that we need to get started on for this.
It's probably a good plan.
You've lived here a while. Who do I see about fungus removal? Is there a fungus removal guild I don't know about?
Can I roll? See if I would actually know if there's
Yeah, go for
who
it.
to talk to?
They got a guild for everything.
What would I roll for that?
Yes.
History? I mean, no.
I'd say probably just a straight intelligence check
Okay, that works.
to just try and recall it.
5. So I don't think I know about any.
Nothing really pops in your head.
You're great, guys.
Yeah. We're
Nothing
doing great.
specifically to mold, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, not specifically, but we could probably, I don't know. I'm sure, like, any kind of contractor would
Oh, I do have to
know
go
how
pay.
to deal with it.
Well, maybe at the Brewers Guild. Because I think it came from the wine. Maybe the Brewers Guild would know
Oh,
something
but
about
actually-
how to remove it.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
And then I assume there's like a Carpenters Guild or whatnot to fix up this place. Masons Guild, as he points to the chunks of wall missing. I think right. Are there like?
There's chunks
In the
of
kitchen?
the hearth missing.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. How do the walls look in the tap room outside of like? I guess outside of woodwork. Like, are the walls all made of wood, or is it like wood and plaster? And is it?
It's primarily wood. There is a bit of plaster. The plaster seems to be more towards the like outsides of the building.
Okay.
So for the most part, inside it seems to be wood.
Okay. And how much damage is?
To the walls themselves, it's not too bad. There are a couple spots that have like a few small holes, but it's not like, you know, there's an entire wall that's like knocked out or anything like that. They will definitely need some love.
Yeah, but there aren't like huge like. I guess like weapon gouges, like
No,
a great
no.
axe or something like.
No, nothing like that.
Oh, okay. All right. He's just gonna continue making his list.
Weird. Before I leave my room, I'm gonna listen in through the hearth and see if Braga's just still sleeping.
Sure. That'd be another perception check.
It's another 2!
You don't hear anything
Really
coming
like
from Brago's room.
Braga! Just dives through the hearth. Still just leave it alone for now. Worried. But
So
it's
you
fine.
head downstairs?
Yep.
so Sarmea is the last one. You said you were just going to spend about 10 minutes up there?
Mhm.
I'd say there's probably about another minute, maybe 2 max before you head down. Do you get fully dressed in your armor and stuff? Or
No armor.
no armor? Just normal clothes?
And I'm gonna bring that tankard down with me
Sabian
Okay.
that I took up.
during this, as Mabram comes down, Sabian turns to Zin and says, "What do you know about getting rid of undead spirits?"
Not a lot, unfortunately.
Morning, everybody.
I haven't
Morning.
really dealt with much of the incorporeal before. I mean, all I know is that our regular weapons won't really do much.
Well, I was thinking about the City of the Dead. It's like a graveyard, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, someone there could
It's
help us.
not a bad idea. I mean, honestly, if there's any way we can,
I've got the coin to pay for an exorcism.
yeah,
So.
put the soul to rest as opposed to, I don't know, whatever you do to kill a ghost. Like, I'd rather do that. But
At this point, maybe
Well,
we're
we
gonna
have
like run
one
over
we
the
can
paper.
push it.
Maybe we're gonna kind of walk over to the paper and, oh, did we get any responses? And look at it.
Just one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not as nice of a response as I expected.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
it's not good.
disappointing. I hate it when people won't work with, won't compromise, but What do you know about the City of the Dead? I guess you just got here.
I was going to say,
Oh.
there's a city of the like where dead things
I think
live.
it's like where the dead are interred, but I'm not sure.
Nothing. I didn't know it existed.
I'd say at this point, Sarmea comes walking downstairs.
Good morning.
Morning. She walks over to the keg. Tries to pour a drink.
Okay. So you pop the cork out, make another athletics check.
Oh, athletics?
Starting
Not
early,
strength.
eh?
Did I not say athletics last time?
You said strength.
Then do
which-
strength.
Okay.
I meant to say
Makes me
athletics. but-
minus 1. 4. It's a 5 if it's athletics.
So either way, you pop the cork, and you go to kind of do the same move that you did last night, but don't look nearly as smooth doing it. And as you kind of lift it up, you start to kind of like shake as you're still like groggy and not like all the way woken up, and a little bit like of ale kind of like starts to splash out of the small hole.
Can I like do something to react to like grab it, like so she doesn't?
Yeah,
spill
she's
it?
like struggling trying to get it up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Unless if you need me to roll a sleight of hand, let me know. But I would try to react to like grab it
Yeah,
so
no,
she
you're
doesn't
good.
just
What are you
spill
trying
the
to
beer.
do?
Oh, just like literally like kind of like grab it around the middle and like pull it back up so she doesn't just like let it drop.
So you kind of walk over, and you just like without even having to try, you just kind of reach down and put your hand next to hers and
Mhm.
grip the edge of the cask, and you just like pull it up.
Yeah. And then I would like grab it and pour and fill her tankard for her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again.
So what's the plan today, everybody?
Well, we have a lot of. We need to get started on this place, but we can't have a spirit wrecking everything that we do. So I
Very
guess we kind of have to solve this ghost problem first. And I was thinking of the City of the Dead because that's all I have to go on, and I'm doing it.
I think that's a really good idea, honestly.
What do
are
you
gonna
think,
do
Simon?
there?
I don't know. Do they have people you can hire to cast out spirits and I don't know, some sort of supernatural chicanery?
Roll a history check, and I'll give you advantage on it. Your head's still a little cloudy as you're still trying to wake up and like having your morning ale. You can't recall specifically if they do have people that do that specifically or not.
I guess we could look for the name that we saw in the mausoleums.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I mean,
It's a pretty good place for a picnic too.
Is
Have
it?
lunch there. Oh, it's
Or a pic-
beautiful.
It's a very odd city.
we could
Cemeteries
also.
don't have to be.
Maybe someone that wasn't. But I
You
happened
all
to
think
enjoy
that
it.
that might be someone's initials?
I was thinking initials at first. I suppose
mean-
it could also be a name,
It could.
but
We did just rescue a man named Floon, so
it's,
who knows?
you're exactly. I mean,
Could be a guy with very bad grammar. Living is fucked.
Oh, also, by the way, you guys noticed that as you're downstairs, it is quite a bit more chillier than it was
Sorry.
the
Yeah.
previous day, as that window has now been broken out.
We don't have any nails or a hammer, as far as I know. So.
I don't.
Sorry. Actually, wait.
Could it be mended?
Don't have it.
Dang it.
Can't do that
That
thing.
was the other one.
That was the other one.
The other guy. That's
Yeah.
the other guy. That could also probably exercise.
Oh,
Exercise our possession, or our haunting. You could disperse the ghost.
This crazy guy who.
This crazy
Oh,
guy.
crazy guy.
He was so crazy it got him killed.
Yeah.
Yep, that is a fact.
Should have gotten us all killed, but
Yeah.
Well,
You
is
know.
there a place you'd like to point me in the direction of that I can go to make it faster, or should we go as a group?
I'm gonna go.
Possibly
I
picnic?
don't know if.
It's a little cold.
Can I insight check the picnic thing?
Sure, yeah.
It's just like she's sort of a shit giver. She might
Sort
be
of.
like yeah, sort of. It's so close to a 19, but it's a 3, so it's 6. So I
Guys,
guess
so
it sounds
good.
pretty
We're doing just great
convincing
today,
that
guys.
you would
does sound
actually
pretty
buy,
convincing.
want to get a picnic there. Well,
Fun.
how long will it take us to get there? We're kind of, sort of close, right? I don't have the map of Waterdeep on hand, but I think we're close.
I can grab it.
Grab it.
Big old map of Waterdeep.
Good old map of Waterdeep.
Do you wanna?
Bum-ba-da-bum.
Bum-ba-da-bum-bum. So we're in the North Ward. City of the Dead is east from us.
you
East,
see it?
City of the Dead's,
yeah. It's the
So
big-
we're up here somewhere. Is it on here?
It is not. It's not marked specifically.
Ah.
But I can point at the area that it is. So you guys are right in here.
Alright, so not super far.
Couple hours maybe.
We gotta go out anyways.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'd say if you were gonna walk, it'd probably take about an hour.
Alright.
I was thinking if we also went to, the Hall of Records or wherever it was that we signed, that the deed was signed, we can also. I mean, they might have record of who owned this place before. I mean, before us it was Volo, but before him, who owned it.
Yeah.
We can check if there's anyone with those initials or that name.
Did
See how far it goes back.
Yeah. Did Volo say anything to you? More about?
No, but that dude at the bar last night really seemed to like us. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but maybe someone else on the block knows something.
That's true.
Because
If
that guy
anyone
is
else
not gonna
in
tell
this
us shit.
Well, I'm not
neighborhood
saying we ask him.
What
Yeah,
about the bent nail guy?
We haven't also really met any of the other
He liked us a little bit more.
shop owners.
There's true.
And
There is.
he was older, right? The guy from the vent nail.
He was an elf, half elf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was older.
Yeah. So I mean, if
Even for a
He's-
half elf, you guys could see like actual signs of it.
yeah, I mean, he looked old and he's part elf. If he's been in this neighborhood a long time, he also might know a lot.
Well, let's consider this. Why do we need to discover this thing's identity when we just want to get rid of it?
I mean, because if we figure out why it's here, why it's
Because
lingering,
names have power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
it's-
that. Oh, I know
that's
that.
what I'm saying is I mean, if we can figure out what happened, what's keeping it here, we might have a lot more luck dispersing it rather than, once again, trying to kill a ghost.
That's true. Well, there's no harm in trying. We could ask around here, or we could head to the City of the Dead. It's up to you all. There is the bookstore. There's a bookstore, I believe, and
I have some ideas too of stuff we could.
What do you want?
There's a couple of things I want to do. Are you talking about Bookworm's Treasure? Or
I believe so. I believe that is what I'm speaking of.
What do you think? What do you want to do?
I would like to go to Steam and Steel, the weapon shop. I have some stuff to sell. So we could ask the dude there.
Sure.
Also, you know.
Isn't there a private investigator on the street?
There is.
Oh, that's not a bad idea either.
That is the Tiger's Eye. That is just a few buildings over.
I mean, he'd be the exact kind of person to find out this information for us if we didn't want to have to do it.
And I know we're trying to prioritize this whole ghost thing, but I would also really like to work on the smell situation.
Yes, I mean, that's, I think,
Well,
priority. Number.
Two.
Like,
Number 2.
Number 1.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, priority number, 1.5, I think, is
Well,
getting the smell out of here.
Who do you recommend we go see? You know about the guilds in the city.
I recommend my sister-in-law.
Your sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm. She knows prestidigitation. She can clean this.
I mean, this is a lot of work.
And Arxir and Avarice can come too and help. Maybe my dad. The spear is useless here.
Your sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of your siblings is married?
Lespira.
Oh,
Her wife's name is Affy.
I see. Well, if you think prestidigitation will work, I mean, it seems like quite extensive mess. But,
It's a start.
I figured someone at the Brewers Guild might know something since it seems to come from wine.
Would I know if they would?
I mean, you could roll an intelligence check to see if you would.
You want to make it something that's not intelligence, like more specific?
Give me a good reason for a check you would want to make. Logic it out. Logic it out.
Insight.
Because why?
Yeah.
I don't have a good reason. It's intelligence. 14. That's not that bad.
14. I mean, just from the nature of your guys' situation, the fact that it seems to come from some sort of alcoholic beverage that has been laying there stagnant, it's not a bad idea. It doesn't. You don't know if they would know specifically about something as intense as this case, but the fact that it came from an alcoholic product, what you think they could have some insight into it?
Well, I have palms to grease in these places anyway, so.
To bring it a little bit back on, would I know that just maybe some vinegar and boiling water, just personal cleaning tips of it, or would I just
I mean, if that is something your character has used as something like that, I would say you guys can try it.
trying to think if he would have? Yeah, I mean, at some point or another. No, he's just been big and brash and going around. He cleans himself really well, but vinegar is not something he uses.
I will say that sometimes the work that the guilds have to do while they can give advice, sometimes they're backed up in jobs that they have.
If we wanted a quick fix too, we could go for your family, or the apothecary down the street might have something.
That's true. I mean,
just
I'm
maybe
open
something
to all
small.
these options, but what do we want to try first? We could try the apothecary.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
We can still
Say-
see
I'd
the
say-
private detective first.
What about is the apothecary the one with the greenhouse?
There's
Who's the
a
one with the greenhouse?
3-story garden.
Follow.
Yeah, that's the one you guys are thinking of. Yeah, that's the one with the top floor that's all
Yeah.
glass
With the elf
encased.
garden, yep.
What about someone who knows plants? I'm guessing fungus as well.
I like the way you think, friend. Let's do that.
Sure.
We could even split up if we really wanted to.
It's true. I'd say before we even talk to the private investigator, I think we should talk to. I got his name written down. I think Tali from the burnt nail, from the bent nail. Don't forget the way to go.
Just someone who's been there for a long time.
We have more
And it seems
furniture
silly to
get
hire
too.
someone to find
That's
out
true,
information when we might be able to get everything we need from one guy
No, you're right.
for free.
No, you're right. Alright, let's do that. Let's go visit Tally and the follow the apothecary.
And then, yeah, do we want to split up or do we want to do this all the same? Where's Brago's carts outside? So we can just pack stuff on it, right?
Where's Brago?
Where is
Good question.
Brago? Yeah.
Do you want to go get him?
I think that'd be rude. You seem to be much more. You do, I think it's thieves. You should go.
Sarmay's gonna start going up the stairs to Brago's room.
Okay.
Perhaps the future possible relationships just barge.
Sarmay doesn't give a shit. She will just barge in.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah, so you end up on the second floor, you head through the den and head down to Brago's room.
Okay.
What do you do?
Open the door.
You just walk in?
Mm-hmm.
Blood
on the ceiling, on the wall.
Sorry,
you walk
Aaron,
in,
you're out. There's too much room over here. You
and-
can't come back.
and you see his bed up against one of the walls, and you see like a bit of his stuff kind of like set up, not quite set up. It's kind of just like thrown in there for now, but he's not in there.
Sarmay's gonna pull out a small piece of copper wire and send a message down to Mabram. Brago's room looks weird and he's not here.
I'll pass it along. But that's very odd. And as that response goes through, you guys hear me say that, and Brago's not here. He's not upstairs. He's not sleeping.
And we're gonna have a chance to like throw a perception check on the room.
Sure.
If there's...
Yeah, go for it.
That's odd.
I mean, I don't know how long you guys have known each other.
17. His room doesn't look odd in so much as a way as it has been like ransacked or like rolled over or gone through. It kind of just looks like he didn't take a whole lot of time to like set things up nicely. It's all just kind of like in there, and he has yet to kind of like thoroughly organize it yet.
So
Okay.
when you said his bed was against the wall, you didn't mean like thrown up
Oh
against the
no,
wall.
like it was like set up
Okay,
against
okay.
a wall where he was like sleeping.
Well, then my message would have been something like, Brago's not in here. And then I would do my perception check to start looking around to see if, I don't know,
Sure.
are those windows?
Yep,
Does he
they
want to
are.
leave early?
I mean, we barely know. This is our third day together, right?
Yeah. We ain't that tight.
Second full day. You guys met
Yeah.
one night, spent yesterday, which was the full day together, and then this is your second day.
Yeah.
It's very quick
We've
to get
only
roommates.
known each other.
It's very quick.
And we've only known him a few days. So, I don't know.
He's my, well, I'm not.
Your bestie?
It's my bestie, he wouldn't just leave.
Guess y'all ain't
I
that
don't know
tight. Campaign.
Well, I mean, I guess I'd actually like to go out, look outside and see if his cart's
Yeah, you can kind of just move over and stick your head out the broken window, and you see that, yeah, it's been, once you guys unloaded, you guys
Sorry,
kind of
guys.
pulled it up onto, like,
Aren't
the
you?
walkway, like, wooden, like, walkway area out front, to where it's kind of, like, under the overhang, and it's still sitting there.
Well, his cart's still here, so at least we can use it to get all the things we need.
It's true.
It's true. I wasn't thinking, of buying furniture yet.
Weren't we going to pick up the rest of the furniture at the Bent Nail? No. Or
Well,
did
we
grab
didn't
them?
buy any more. I just assumed we would be buying more.
Oh,
But I did sort of say we would come back and buy furniture, but I feel like we have more important things to take care of.
okay. Agreed.
It's true. And I mean, if we're gonna go ask him about,
Yeah, no, we should
I
still
mean-
go speak with him. I agree.
I think it'll be clear that we kind of have something a little bit more pressing
Sure.
at the moment.
Yeah.
I think he'll understand.
Which one's closer, the Bent Nail or Falla?
Technically Falla, but you'd like walk past Falla's like 2 or 3 buildings, and then there's the Bent Nail.
Should we stop at the apothecary first?
I don't think it would hurt.
No, I don't see why not.
Maybe we can get something for this mold.
I don't see anything out the windows or anything.
Maybe the mold is the source of the
Nope.
ghost.
So when it's closed,
It
you don't
Does-
see any signs
it
of
does
like,
smell
entry
like
or
death,
anything like
so
that. Or exit.
Dead line.
Somebody's gonna pull out her piece of copper wire and say, and sings Brago. Brago, where are you? Put the wire away.
And that was just message.
Yeah.
You don't get a response.
She'll go downstairs.
So Sarmea joins you guys downstairs again.
Well, we're about to head to the apothecary if you want to join us.
Yeah, maybe Brago just got an early start.
Could be, maybe.
I think it's a safe assumption for now.
We barely know. We don't know what he does in his daily
Yeah.
life.
Maybe
so.
he's just closing
Probably
out
really
with his landlord.
No,
Maybe
yeah,
it's
that's a
like
good point. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm in, does somebody, like, remember where the shops are on the alley? So, you know. Like, I want to know if we're going to pass Steven's on the way to the apothecary.
Yeah, you know. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you would know that you would. They're all. It's all like in that same strip. So. Yeah.
Alright, well, somebody's going to join, but she will go to Steven's Steel while they continue the apothecary if that's what's happening.
You would have to walk past the apothecary to get to Steven
okay,
Steel.
I got you. Okay, no, I'll just go to the apothecary first then.
Okay.
We can hit all these places together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'd say as you guys get ready to depart the manor, it's probably a good place for us to take our break.
Yeah. Sounds good
Right.
to me.
Sabian will now clean up the pen and ink and quill and take them back upstairs.
Okay.
Before we leave.
Before you leave. Cool.
And guys, yeah, we'll be back in a
Yes,
sec.
we'll be back in a little bit.
Yep.
Thanks.
We're out. Cool. 1 sec. The mic is not though. Hi guys, we'll be
Oh my
out.
God.